In order to set up email to case, we need to first enable email to case and make sure that the feature is configured properly. To do that, let's search for email to case using the quick find. From there, we will select the email to case setting option. Let's press on it. From there, you will get a little introduction from Salesforce about how email to case works. We are going to press continue. And from there, we will be able to see how we can configure email to case. To do that, let's press the edit button. And let's make sure that enable email to case is activated. We will also make sure that enable HTML email is activated. Set case source to email is quite important. That way we can track the case origin to the email. We can save the attachments as Salesforce files. Let's do that. And then here, we can tell Salesforce to add the thread ID, which allows us to track emails inside of the system in the subject and the body. The reason why we put it in both is that if for some reason the contact decides to remove it from the subject when they create their reply, or remove it from the body when they create their reply, the Salesforce still gets the thread ID somewhere. That's why we put it on both. Now here, because we want to manage our email forwarding from Salesforce, we will enable the on-demand service. There is another service which allows you to add an agent on your server. We will not use that one because it is very likely to get deprecated soon. So we are going to use the on-demand service right here. And to do that, we are going to check this checkbox. And what we can specify here is how the system is going to handle failures. Over email rate limit action is the action that the system is going to take if you are receiving too many emails in a day. So will you bounce the message, will you discard it, or will you requeue it? Here I want to requeue it so that it comes in when the rate has alleviated itself and we can receive that email. Unauthorized sender action, here we're just going to discard the message. Let's press save. So now that email to case is properly set up, we need to add our routing email addresses. Those are the email addresses that Salesforce is going to give us access to, that we can forward the incoming emails from our email server right to Salesforce. In order to set them up, once we have enabled email to case, we need to scroll down this page until we see routing addresses. In order to add our routing addresses, we are going to press the New button. So let's press New. And here, what we are going to do is give it a name, give the email address that we are going to use, and then we will set up a few other settings. So let's name this one General Support, and the email address is going to be support@globalmantix.com. Now, here we are going to decide whether we want to save the email headers and if we want to restrict emails from certain email addresses. Here, we are not going to choose any of those. From there, we can specify whether we want to create a task from the email itself and what should be its status. We are not going to do that either. In the case settings, we can specify who will be the owner, what will be the priority of the case, and what will be its origin. For the owner, we are not going to leverage this feature as we want assignment rules to assign this new case to the right person, so we will not put a default in there. Case priority as medium seems fine. As for the case origin, we are going to select email. If we want to put a certain case recount type in place, we can do that there. As you can tell, we have only the general request, which makes total sense because we are creating the generic support address for this email to case routing address. So let's select general request. That means that if an email comes through that address, the case is going to automatically be created with that recount type. That makes it very useful for you to create multiple routing addresses and assign different record types to them. Once this is done, let's press save. Now, Salesforce is telling us here that we will need to verify the email address. So let's press OK, and this is going to send an email to support@globomantics.com. There we go. Now, here, I, of course, do not own support@globomantics.com, so I am not able to verify this email address. So what I will do instead is change that email address to an email address I own. But, of course, you would need to put your real company email address here. Okay? So bear with me, I will change that email address and then we will be able to verify it. So now, as you can tell, I have inputted my own email address and I have verified it. So you can tell that Salesforce actually verified it because there is this tag next to the email address now. What I want to do now is use this email address and send an email from that email to this email services address. Now what this email address is a special email address that Salesforce gives us that will allow us to send any email we receive from that email address to that email address so that it appears inside of Salesforce. So to do this, I'm going to copy this email address and then open my mailbox inside of Gmail. So now I am inside of my mailbox and I want to send an email to the special email address that Salesforce gave us. So normally what you would do is you would set up a forwarding rule in place, but here we just want to test this out and see how that looks like. So to do this, I'm going to compose a new email and I'm going to send it to the special email address that Salesforce gave us right there. We're going to put a subject, robot request, hello, I do not know how to change the settings for my robot. Could you help? Whoops. Could you help? Thank you. And we'll call that guy Rob. Okay. So now what I want to do basically is send that email over to the support email address of Salesforce. So let's press send. And the message is sent. So Salesforce is going to process it and then put it inside of our case queue. To check that, let's go ahead and let's go back to Salesforce and access our Globomantics Service Console. Now if we go back to our cases, you will see that we have now robot request as a case and we can click on it. So as you can tell, the case came through and all of the information that was inputted by our Gmail account was copied over inside of our case properly. So you can see here that we have our email address, we have the name of the person that sends the email, as well as the email itself, which shows right there. And so our agents are able to work on that case and close it. That's exactly how email to case works. It's very useful, very simple to set up, and I'm sure it will make your life much easier. So you now know how to set it up. Well done.